This intense courtroom moment shows how seriously the justice system treats people who ignore court orders. Judge Fleischer is clearly frustrated as he reviews several cases involving defendants who repeatedly failed to appear in court or violated the conditions of their bond. The judge makes it very clear from the beginning that skipping court dates is not something the court takes lightly. One of the most notable cases involves Joshua Maple, who is facing a DWI charge along with a weapon-related offense. Despite missing court 4 separate times, Maple finally appears and decides to plead guilty. The judge acknowledges Maple's financial struggles and even waives a $3,000 surcharge. But he also issues a strong warning. If Maple violates the law again or ignores the court, the consequences will be far more serious. Another case involves Emma Lynch, who violated her bond conditions by failing to install a required ignition interlock device in her vehicle. Lynch tries to explain that her car was not drivable and that she had been using a rental car instead. However, the judge reminds her that excuses don't change the rules. Bond conditions must be followed exactly as ordered. The final case involves Derek Adams, whose case has been dragging on for more than 3 years. After 1,258 days without resolution, the judge orders Adams to wear an ankle monitor and warns that missing another court appearance will result in a massive increase in his bond. This courtroom session sends a clear message. Ignoring the court will only make things worse.
Yes, I saw that you guys have, Maple.
Yes, Sean.
You as well, Judge. Thank you.
Take care. You want to do the plea now?
Yes, Sean.
I'm ready when you are. Joshua Maple, come up. Mr. Maple, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're going to dismiss the unlawful carrying of a weapon in exchange for your plea on the DWI. You need to understand that this DWI will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. It's even there after you die. It's important because if you ever get pulled over, an officer is going to look at your record. They're going to see a DWI. What do you think they're going to do to you if they smell alcohol or dope? Right. What we're doing today, from now on, you are facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. No more slaps on the wrist. Do you understand? So if I were you, I would never get in a car, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, a toke off a joint, whatever it may be, because you're taking a humongous risk. For $20, you click one button, you can have a car taking you perhaps $30. Anywhere you want to go, it's a geographical oddity why it's always $25 to $30 with Uber. Do you understand? Giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, there's no turning back. It's a lifetime decision. Is this what you want to do? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty?
Yes, sir.
I will find you guilty, sentence you to the 3 days in jail, give you credit for the 1. There is a surcharge that you will be required to pay for this case.
I want to put on some testimony concerning the surcharge.
Okay.
Mr. Maple, where are you currently employed?
With my uncle. Working with him.
What do you do?
Look at houses, remodel them, and fix up houses.
How much do you generally make a month?
1,500.
Okay. Yeah, but I take it you have to pay for somewhere to live, correct?
Yeah.
You have to pay for a vehicle, insurance, cell phone, food.
Yes.
When your monthly bills and expenses are paid, does it pretty much equal what you make, the $1,500 you make each month? Can you speak up?
Yes.
And would you be unable to pay a $3,000 surcharge based on your financial situation?
No.
Past witness.
Why on earth would we bend over backwards to help you when you don't give a rat's behind about this case. You have taken off 4 different times. You have failed to appear in this court for court settings. Why on earth have you taken off 4 times? What? So you just don't care about us and work is more important than court, huh? Actions speak louder than words, Mr. Maple, but you have taken off 4 different times. You are lucky that you are not in jail right now as it is. So why on earth would we help you when you don't even want to help yourself? Why?
Just trying to better myself. I should have listened to my gut and come here.
How much do you really make a month, Mr. Maple?
1,500 a month.
Who do you live with?
My dad.
Who are you here with now?
Just the lawyer.
I don't know. You know, it's
Young kid, nope. Working, not a troublemaker, just.
here's my problem, Mr. Maple. My problem is that you've taken off on us over and over and over and over. Today, you're walking out of here and nothing is happening to you. My experience is that when we are too easy on people, they don't get the message and they act like a bonehead out there in the free world. And then they end up either picking up a new DWI or doing something else that's even worse. How do I know that you've learned anything about this? Because like I said, with how bad you've acted with us over the course of the last 7 months, you're skating out of here with a proverbial slap on the wrist. How do I know that you have learned anything, Mr. Maple?
Because I got my big brother looking over me and I gotta do better.
Here's what we're going to do. I will take off the $3,000 surcharge, but you will be required to pay the court costs in this case, for which around $500. And I'm going to tell you now, if you don't pay it, every $100 you owe, you will sit in jail for 1 day. So you'll be required to pay for something. And if you don't pay it, your butt will sit in jail for almost a week. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to tell you now, the next time you come back, if you come back with the DWI, it's around $6,000 in surcharges, not to mention court costs. So you can look forward to around $7,000 in fines and fees. If you want to drink, if you want to get loaded, if you want to smoke, find another way. Do you understand? Because if you come back, it will be HE double hockey sticks to pay. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm suspending your license for 180 days. You are not allowed to drive at all. If you drive, that in and of itself is a Class B misdemeanor, just like a DWI, a driving on a suspended license case. Heed this warning. There won't be another one. Do you understand? All right?
Your Honor, any previous suspension from this incident, would it run concurrent?
Really? Really? No. No, there has to be some kind of consequence, man. Really, taking off 4 times? I'm taking off 3,000 now, and he wants me to. I love you. Go. So 180 and then just the court costs.
I'm here on Emma Lynch. She's got a bond violation. We wanted to talk to her.
Okay, do you mind bringing her up?
Yes, Ms. Lynch. When we were here last time, you ordered her to have the interlock installed on her vehicle. She is not driving the vehicle. It's not drivable. We just need to switch her to a portable.
Oh, no.
And a no drive.
She has nothing. And it doesn't matter. We ordered you to have an interlock in a car you haven't done anything and you're without any kind of devices whatsoever, right?
That was totaled and it's at my house right now. But I don't have I'm in a rental car that I'm not driving, so I don't have a car to put it in.
So you have no device.
That's correct.
You're not being monitored.
That's correct.
This is not a good thing, Miss Lynch, because I ordered you to have a device. And from what I understand here, you never even went and got it.
Just because she doesn't have a vehicle to put it on.
But you come back and you say, hey, Judge, I don't have a vehicle. I need to do something else. You just don't, out of sight, out of mind. That's not the way things work.
Judge, for that violation as well, we instructed her in court and sent a message for her to report to 49 following court to get further instruction over everything so that we could figure out things from there, and she never reported.
Stephen. Miss Lynch, you haven't done anything. They've literally bent over backwards to help you and do stuff, and you haven't done anything.
I wanted to come in today.
The only reason you're here today is because I ordered you here
Yes,
today.
sir. Yes, sir.
She goes with you.
Yes, sir.
Emailed, texted, call, nothing, you know?
I understand. Would you consider setting her a new bond? Or do
Of
you-
course, 5,001. And then, you know, if she's unable to, then what's today, Friday, Monday, then we can talk. Okay?
It makes me start.
Yes, ma'am.
The courtroom is calm, but there is a serious atmosphere as Judge Fleischer begins reviewing the cases scheduled for the day. One by one, the defendants stand before the judge, each of them facing consequences for something that might seem simple but is taken very seriously in the justice system. Failing to follow court orders. For many people, missing a court date might feel like a small mistake. Life gets busy, unexpected problems happen, and sometimes people think they can just explain things later. But in a courtroom, ignoring a court appearance or violating bond conditions sends a very different message. To a judge, it can look like a lack of respect for the legal system. Judge Fleischer makes it clear from the very beginning that today's hearing will focus on several defendants who failed to meet their responsibilities. Each case tells a different story, but they all have something in common: decisions that made their legal situation much worse. The first case that catches the judge's attention involves a man named Joshua Maple. Maple is facing charges related to driving while intoxicated, a serious offense that already carries heavy legal consequences. But what makes this case stand out is not just the charge itself, it's the fact that Maple missed court multiple times before finally appearing. According to the court record, Maple failed to show up for court 4 separate times. Each missed appearance forced the court to reschedule the case, wasting time and resources. Judges deal with hundreds of cases, and when someone repeatedly ignores their court date, it quickly becomes a problem. When Maple finally appears in court, the judge reviews the file and immediately notices the pattern of missed appearances. The courtroom becomes quiet as the judge begins asking questions. Maple explains his situation and eventually makes the decision to plead guilty to the DWI charge. The judge listens carefully. While the offense itself is serious, the judge also looks at Maple's personal situation. Financial struggles are mentioned, and it becomes clear that Maple is not in a strong position economically. After considering everything, the judge makes a decision that surprises some people in the courtroom. A $3,000 surcharge connected to the case is waived because of Maple's financial situation. It's a moment of leniency from the bench, but it does not come without a clear warning. Judge Fleischer looks directly at Maple and explains that this decision should not be misunderstood as weakness. The judge makes it clear that the court expects full compliance from this point forward. If Maple violates the law again or fails to follow court instructions in the future, the consequences could be far more severe. The message is clear. This is a second chance, not a free pass. As Maple's case comes to an end, the court quickly moves on to the next defendant. The focus now shifts to a woman named Emma Lynch. Her situation is different, but it also revolves around failing to follow the conditions set by the court. When someone is released on bond, there are often strict rules they must follow while their case is still active. These rules are designed to protect the public and ensure the defendant remains accountable. Violating those conditions can quickly lead to serious consequences. In Lynch's case, one of the conditions of her bond required her to install an ignition interlock device in her vehicle. These devices are commonly used in cases related to alcohol offenses. The system requires the driver to pass a breath test before the car can start, ensuring that the person is not driving under the influence. However, according to the court record, Lynch failed to install the device as ordered. When questioned by the judge, Lynch explains that her car was not drivable. She tells the court that the vehicle had mechanical problems and that she had been using a rental car instead. While her explanation might sound reasonable at first, the judge quickly points out an important detail. Bond conditions do not disappear just because a situation becomes inconvenient. If a defendant is required to install a device in their vehicle, they must communicate with the court and make sure the requirement is properly addressed. Simply ignoring the condition is not an acceptable solution. Judge Fleischer listens to Lynch's explanation, but reminds her that bond violations are taken very seriously. The purpose of bond conditions is to ensure safety and accountability, and failing to follow them puts the defendant's freedom at risk. The judge orders Lynch to take immediate action to correct the violation. The message is firm but fair. The court expects compliance, and excuses will not replace responsibility. As Lynch steps away from the bench, the courtroom moves to another case, one that has been lingering in the system for an unusually long time. The defendant in this case is Derek Adams. Unlike the previous cases, Adams' situation involves a timeline that stretches back several years. In fact, the judge notes that the case has been unresolved for more than 1,200 days. That's well over 3 years of delays, missed opportunities to resolve the issue, and a case that has simply refused to move forward. Cases like this are frustrating for the court system. When legal matters remain open for years without resolution, they create unnecessary complications and uncertainty. When Adams stands before the judge, the seriousness of the situation becomes clear. Judge Fleischer reviews the timeline and emphasizes just how long the case has been sitting unresolved. After 1,258 days without a resolution, the judge decides that stronger measures are necessary. To ensure that Adams remains accountable moving forward, the judge orders him to wear an ankle monitor. This device allows authorities to track the defendant's location and ensure that he follows the conditions set by the court. For Adams, this decision represents a significant escalation, but the judge is not finished. Judge Fleischer also issues a clear warning. If Adams fails to appear in court again or ignores the court's instructions moving forward, his bond could increase dramatically. A massive bond increase could make it much harder for him to remain free while his case continues. The warning leaves little room for misunderstanding. Court orders are not optional, and the patience of the court has limits. As the hearing continues, the message from the bench becomes increasingly clear. Each defendant standing before the judge is facing consequences not only for their original charges, but also for their decisions afterward. Ignoring court dates, violating bond conditions, or allowing a case to drag on for years without resolution only makes the situation worse. Judges are responsible for maintaining order in the courtroom and ensuring that the legal system functions properly. When defendants fail to follow the rules, the court must respond in a way that reinforces accountability. Throughout the hearing, Judge Fleischer maintains a calm but firm tone. The judge listens carefully to explanations and considers each person's circumstances, but he also makes it clear that responsibility cannot be avoided. Every decision made in the courtroom carries weight. For Joshua Maple, the hearing resulted in a guilty plea and a warning that the next mistake could lead to much harsher consequences. For Emma Lynch, the hearing served as a reminder that bond conditions must be followed exactly as ordered, no matter the circumstances. And for Derek Adams, the hearing ended with stricter monitoring and a clear message that the case must finally move forward. By the end of the session, the courtroom has witnessed several different situations, but they all point to the same lesson. When someone becomes involved in the legal system, Ignoring the process will never make the problem disappear. In fact, it usually makes things much worse. Court dates matter, bond conditions matter, and the decisions people make while their case is ongoing can shape the outcome of their future. Judge Fleischer's rulings throughout the hearing reflect a balance between fairness and accountability. While the court may show understanding in certain situations, it also expects every defendant to take their responsibility seriously. Because in the courtroom, respect for the law is not optional.
Mr. Adams, Derek Adams.
Okay.
It's
It's a really old case.
yes,
I've told him it's time to put this baby to bed.
yes.
Is there an offer in this case?
No, I
How come after 1,258 days, there is no offer?
was hoping we can get a gun safety class and dismiss.
It appears that was
Come on,
probably,
Mr. Adams.
the delay is probably due to the missing dash cam that's still outstanding that we do not have.
I don't care.
Yes, Judge.
Get on it now.
Yes, Judge. Well,
Why on earth would we allow you to do this class where you get to dismiss this case when it's 1,258 days and you've repeatedly taken off? It's a rhetorical question. You don't have to answer it. But I'm telling you now, I'm giving you 2 weeks to decide what to do with this case. The next time you come here, you will either accept a plea bargain agreement or I'm setting your case for trial. Do you understand? Not only that, I'm putting an ankle monitor on your ankle now so I know where you are at all times. Do you understand, Mr. Adams? And the next time you take off, I'm going to make your bond so high you're going to have teeth falling out. Do you understand?
Judge, if I may, my client, shortly after this arrest, he lost his mother, and I believe it's the mother of one of his children.
No, my sister.
Sister. He fell on hard times. He was already, not well employed. And he's been through some rough times in his life in the past few years. He recently got a job working at a Chinese restaurant, and he has 3 children that he helps take care of. I'm not exactly sure when his last failure to appear was. It might have only been 1, but he hasn't been in trouble since this arrest, I think in 2021, right? So I asked the court to withhold from, giving him an ankle monitor. The state's also missing evidence here. If we can come back and
Last time we saw him was 3 years ago, Corey. So, I have sympathy in the fact that everybody has hard times, but your failure to appear on a repeated basis is a constant kick in the ding-ding to us, and I'm not going to take it. And I'm going to tell you now, I don't know why your bond is not at 10,003, because that is what it really should be. Your bond is at 1,002, and it's way off of what it normally would be. Because I'm telling you, your bond should be 10,003, because that's what they're normally set with a person who's absconded as many times as you do now. You're lucky that you're not in custody as it is now. Do you understand? But at 1,258 days, I don't trust you. And so the only way I know that I'm going to keep tabs on you is with an ankle monitor. And like I said, the next time you take off, and it doesn't matter what the excuse is, the bond is going to go astronomical. Do you understand, Corey? I'm sorry, but if it were maybe 500, maybe 300, I would relent on not putting a monitor. But at 4 years or however long this case is, hell no.
I think that reflects his law-abidingness, right? That he hasn't been in trouble, had any interactions with the police.
How do I know that?
Well, yes.
I don't know.
He would have been in an orange jumpsuit, I guess. If he
Not
had to.
necessarily. I mean, we don't know how he's been out of county, out of state. Look, you're walking out of here now. You're getting 2 weeks to decide what to do. You're not going into custody now. So you're still walking out of here, but I'm putting a monitor on you. And I'm telling you something else that I should make you pay for it, where it would cost you around $400 to $500 a month, but I'm going to eat it. So there's no excuse. Do you understand, Ms. Adams? But you got to understand that in court, we hold people accountable. You may be able to live your life like this outside of the free world, but not in court. We will hold you accountable. And the next time, get ready. Take a seat. Thank you. Of course.
Judge, for information,
Hey,
I have some from-
expedited